Okay, today I want to do a reading on the metaverse. I was listening to Coast to Coast tonight, and they were talking about it, and I was pacing around thinking about it, and basically, my current theory is that all of the changes, well, maybe not all, but many of the changes that have been happening that I refer to as dimensional shift are happening because the metaverse is the new world. And the world as we know it or knew it is fundamentally changing or perhaps even disappearing altogether. So it literally is the new world. There is literally a new world being born and a new way of life, right? So let's just take a peek at this. Now, earlier, as I was shuffling, the thing that was coming into my mind was like a zipper, right? Like these two different worlds are sort of coming together like this. And like the metaverse cannot exist without this world, at least not at first. So, it requires this zipping, right? Whoop. So that's kind of what is going on now, I believe. So let's just take a look at this and this process. Our root card is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is showing the universe of creation and our potential. The Ace of Pentacles is the master of taking these ideas and turning them into stuff. But here we do see a whole new universe, which the metaverse is, that we create. And that is also true. And the ace is like the origin of it. So, with this, I guess we know we're cooking with grease here. So the main card is the Four of Pentacles. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I have struggled a bunch over the last, pretty much since COVID, right? I've struggled a lot in my life trying to find my place, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be and what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. And it's been very frustrating. And over this time, I have gotten this card in my own readings as I ask, like, what in the fuck am I supposed to do? Now, this Four of Pentacles has shown up repeatedly. And in the Four, so this is a miser, and he's rich in this life, and he's about to walk through the portal to the next world, right? And he doesn't want to let go of all of the things that he's gained in this world, and he's resisting the change. It's funny because as I was thinking about this tonight, I thought about this card, but I wasn't doing a reading about it at the time. But I realized within myself that I've been looking at the wrong world. I've been expecting something, I guess, coming through the one side of the zipper, but I haven't really acknowledged or paid any attention to the other side of the zipper. That's pretty much what goes on here, right? So, um, I don't have much in this world to give up, and this card, I kept thinking that it was about having to leave something or let go of something, but I really don't have anything, which is why it was always so confusing. But this is just about not moving forward or not paying attention to what's on the other side of the portal. This makes sense to me in my life, and if you have struggled in a similar way, I think maybe that might be a problem for you as well. If you can't quite put your finger on why the fuck things are not clicking or why nothing is working out, um, you may have been focusing on the wrong world. So, with this zipper thing, let's just put a card here to represent, we'll say, the world that we are all familiar with. Well, God, I shouldn't say that, but the world that has been, the pre metaverse fucking blockchain crypto world. And then we'll look over here to see what represents the other side. Now, both of these cards have shown up a lot in readings. It is really fascinating that the Two of Pentacles is what's showing up for the metaverse, right? You would kind of expect to see something like this, but it is true that the standard world, the legacy world that we have been born into, could easily be represented with the devil because there's a lot of fucked up shit associated with everything in the way that it is. So, obsession, possession, which is fascinating. I mean, the metaverse is mostly based off of NFTs, which are possessions, not in the way that the possessions work here. So, it's fascinating that the devil shows up, um, kind of hinting at possession because there will be possession, I think, in the metaverse. At least if it works on the current NFT model. But then again, and this goes to that World Economic Forum thing, like, what did they say, the year 2030 or something like that? That people would own nothing and they would be happy. Now, that could show up here, right? So moving forward, so there is a lot of stuff that goes with possession and with obsession, right? A lot of negative stuff that goes with all of that. Shown here in the devil. Whoop. So we've got this zipping. The Two of Pentacles is really fascinating to me. And this has shown up in a lot of readings. And to be honest, I don't exactly know what it's showing. I mean, so we have the ace down here. This is the source code. This is the origin. And the two is the next natural thing. So this would kind of be like more than one of these. Now, as I think about the metaverse currently, right, there's more than one blockchain that it works on. There's more than one metaverse because like each blockchain is kind of its own thing, and then the different companies are creating their own metaverse or whatever the fuck. So that might be the balance between the multiple things that's happening here, moving through it like a dance from the original thing. This might just be multiple spawning metaverses, metavi. I don't know how to make that plural. I guess metaverses. So, okay, let's put a card on either side to just see the human side of this. Human, like what are you gonna do in this human? Now I'm gonna move this a little bit because I just noticed all of that terrible glare on the two. All right, humans. All right, Queen of Pentacles and Temperance. So in the legacy world, we have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles gives here. I mean, she's not really giving. She's sort of showing these dolls, which are her children. She's showing them this pentacle. And she really thinks it'll help them. They don't know what the fuck she's talking about. It doesn't mean anything to them, right? So it basically shows giving energy, maybe in a way where it isn't properly received. With this, I mean, just like the situation that I've been having for a couple of years now, um, the Queen of Pentacles would say try to make sure that your communication is happening in a way that you want it to, because as we get into this weird fucking middle area or this gray zone where both of these worlds are sort of smashing together and we don't really know how they interact. Um, in your communication, even if it's with other people, try to look at, if you haven't been getting the communication results that you want, try to look at that and try to be aware of what language it is that the recipient speaks. As far as this goes, too, I mean, with the Ace of Pentacles showing up, and the Pentacles tend, I mean, wow, they kind of are all over this. But the Queen of Pentacles for humans, this also could be the nurturing that we have to give to the metaverses, right? Because without human care, at least to keep the power grid and computers running, um, they would uh, they would cease to be, I think. And also, they wouldn't really grow or be created without this human sort of nurturing. Uh, that's interesting. So over here, we get the Temperance card. Again, it's a 2. We've got the blending. Um, I mean, it's 2 different things that are being blended. It's not a 2. But the Temperance card is about blending a couple different things to make a new thing. Um, in the metaverse universes, I guess, these things are, because they're kind of separate, they're going to blend, I guess. At this point, it might not be understood which ones are going to become powerful, I suppose. I mean, I don't really even know how to say that when it comes to an electronic universe being created, but um, it might be from our end just about kind of looking at many of them and learning from many of them. I mean, I don't really know. Don't put all of your eggs in one metaverse. I think that's pretty much what this is saying. So let's just see. I want to look a little further down the line, and we'll look at it on each of these. So long term, humans in the metaverse, what does this do to us? What does it do to people? I'm going to look at the bodies specifically. What does this do to our bodies? And I want to look over here and look over here. So, looking at our bodies, the Three of Pentacles, this shows, the collaboration, but this is like, I kind of think this is saying that the bodies might be created in some way like this, where they're like sculpted. Um, well, I guess that makes sense, because the body in the metaverse is an avatar. But I was trying to think more about our physical bodies as it relates to the metaverse. Um, but it basically might be showing the same thing. How people would be more likely to maybe sculpt their physical bodies to be more like their avatars, something like that. But as far as like the actual body in the metaverse, this makes perfect sense, because the bodies would be created and sculpted this way. So over here we have the Hierophant. This is the way things have always been. Um, Now, the way that I would translate this is that our human bodies in the normal or legacy world would basically act the way that they always had. that is going to be interesting because if their attention and consciousness is going more over here and they're not active, I mean, the Hierophant would basically say, like, if you're not active, you will get fat or weak or like whatever. Um, I keep thinking of the early Matrix, right? Or like the hooked up in the neck Matrix. And I kind of feel like that is coming. I'm going to pull one more card just with that image in mind, where people are like literally hooked up to these big networks, Matrix style. If that is a thing that is likely to happen, and it looks like that might be the next world yet. So, uh, the world showing up here shows that it is definitely possible, but it's not like tomorrow. That might be a couple graduations and worlds in the future. Not right away. That's what I'm getting out of this. Not right away, but perhaps. So I would love to hear any other ideas on this, or if you're seeing other stuff in the cards that I'm not seeing. But I really think that this is what is happening with people. The dimensional shift, right? I think this is the source of at least a bunch of that energy, and I would love to hear what you think about that. Peace.